shifting the way you use language to build executive function skills. In this section, you will learn how executive function delays impact your child, how to use language to help your child improve their self-directed talk, increase independence, and reduce prompt dependence. Often, professionals and parents think that executive function skills means academic organizational skills, but executive function skills encompass almost all facets of our daily functioning. Language is the core of building executive function skills. Executive functioning requires kids to use their internal dialogue, or what I call self-directed talk, to problem solve, make a plan, activate their coping skills, and so on. Kids with ADHD have inconsistent use of their internal dialogue, meaning they're not always having a discussion with themselves about what they should be doing, what needs to happen, and so on. Here's an example. If you have to constantly prompt your child to go through their morning routine to get ready for school, the reason for that is because they're not having an internal discussion about what they should be doing. That is a lack of internal dialogue. In this section, we're going to focus on how to help your child build their internal dialogue. You may be wondering why you haven't heard of this before. The reason is because the mental health field doesn't really seem to understand the tremendous role language plays in building executive function skills. Most of this work I learned actually from the speech-language pathology field. Nonverbal working memory, or what I call future thinking skills, is your ability to visualize yourself doing something in the future. This is part of executive functioning and is also challenging for kids with ADHD. They may have difficulty picturing what a completed task like cleaning their room will look like. Strategy: how to help your child's internal dialogue improve. Number 1, model your own internal dialogue. You need to model your internal dialogue around your child by verbalizing your thoughts in order to model what your own internal dialogue sounds like. Another thing, work through a problem out loud. Here's an example. I have to pick James up from karate and need to pick up something for dinner. I guess I can drop him off, pick up dinner, and then go back to karate. Consider various possibilities out loud. This helps teach flexible thinking as well. As an example, we have to leave by 4 tomorrow. I can pick up the dry cleaning in the morning or right before we leave. I think I'll pick it up in the morning so I'm not rushing around right before we leave. Make predictions out loud. I have a feeling it will take a long time to go through the drive-thru. We should probably just go in and order. I think this bag of soil might make a mess in the car. I'm going to put it in a trash bag first. Using declarative language to improve nonverbal working memory, or future thinking skills, and help kids become more independent. This is the key to moving from prompt dependence towards independence. When you give direct instructions, you are acting as your child's executive functioning, and they don't have the opportunity to develop their internal dialogue or figure out what they need to do. Declarative language doesn't directly tell them what to do or prompt. It is guiding them to use their internal dialogue to infer what they should be doing. Declarative language encourages your child to be less reliant on you telling them what to do. It helps them to think about the bigger picture and problem solve while using their own internal dialogue. Examples will follow in the next section. Using declarative language can also help them to improve their nonverbal working memory or future thinking skills by encouraging them to visualize near future events. Here's an example of prompting language. Pick up your shirt and put it in the hamper. Here's an example saying that with declarative language. Can you please make the floor look like it's supposed to look? Or think about what you should do after you take off your shirt. Prompting language. Don't forget your lunch. Here's declarative language. Look at the kitchen counter and figure out what needs to happen. Or visualize in your head what should be in your backpack when you're ready to leave for school. Keep in mind, if your child gets frustrated, you can be a bit more descriptive, but the key here is to not prompt them. Here's another example. I wonder if you'll get hungry at school. What should you bring that will help with that? Other uses of declarative language help kids problem solve, visualize, and figure out what they should be doing, such as improving situational awareness, or what people often refer to as reading a room. I refer to it as reading the field because often we have to use situational awareness outdoors. Here's an example. Imagine in your head what you're supposed to look like if you lose the game today. What should you look like if your teammates who are in line shake hands with the other team? Look at what everybody else waiting in line looks like. Can you match your body and voice volume to the other people waiting in line so they feel comfortable being around you, please? Here's an example at soccer practice. I see the rest of the kids on your team who aren't in the game right now are sitting on the bench or staying near the bench. Do you look like them right now, considering you're all the way over here? Keep in mind, this is never about following. This is about helping kids to develop situational awareness of what they should be doing in the context of the situation. This is covered further in the Socially Smarter series. If your child becomes frustrated that you're no longer prompting them, the reason why is you're requiring them to think for themselves now. They may say, just tell me what to do, or why are you talking like that? You can explain to them that you want them to hear their own brain voice so they can do more things on their own without you having to remind them. It's really important that you don't get pulled into the argument or reasoning vortex with them over this. They will get over it, I promise. Takeaways from this section. ADHD is an executive function developmental delay. Kids with ADHD are 2 to 3 years behind their same age peers in terms of their executive function skill development. It could be more, it could be less. There's really no way to quantify this scientifically. Most of executive functioning is based in language, which most people do not realize. In order to help kids build executive function skills, we have to shift the way we use language in order to help kids move from prompt dependence towards independence. We have to help them build their internal dialogue. We do this by using declarative language, which doesn't directly tell them what to do or prompt them. Rather, it guides them to use their internal dialogue to infer what they should be doing. To go further in depth to understand declarative language, please check out Linda Murphy's book, The Declarative Language Handbook. There's a link to the book in the resources section of the membership site.